Okay, so beginning to raise cattle, you're going to need to know a few things. These are like Holstein mixes. I'm going to have to get what the true name is, and I'll put it in the description. These are a little bit less expensive on the meat, so people can afford them a little better when you sell to them. The butchering will be the same process. These are, boy, 15 months old maybe. One is going to be butchered in August. One is going to be butchered in January or February. And we just ask people if they buy a quarter of a cow or a half a cow or a full cow, and you sell it by the hanging weight, and then they pay the butcher for the butchering. So we are going to take half of one of these cows for our own selves, for our family. We're a family of 5. Put it all in a deep freezer, and then we sold half to somebody else who's giving some to their family members, and then we'll find other buyers. Now, this is what we started out with. We put in all the fencing ourselves. We water them ourselves. We got all these gates and put them in. They graze in the grass. We did put in tires. We buried them in the ground a little bit, and they can rub up against those to scratch themselves, so they don't do it against the fence and push them open or over. So you'll need a water trough. You'll need the money to buy these. These are bulls, or these are males, so you're going to need to dehorn them so they don't gore each other or you or the fence or whatever. And then you have to castrate them, and they need shots. And we got these, and we had to give them milk replacer for the first couple of months. So they fed by the bottle, and then you wean them off the bottle into a milk bucket, and then they go to water and grain, and then they start feeding on the grass. We actually bale this kind of grass, and these 2 cows, it took them, oh boy, we fed them 95 small bales of hay / grass in the winter of 3 or 4 months, and then they eat the grass all summer long. So, and then we feed them, well, they're standing by this. We feed them corn, crushed and cracked corn in here. You don't want to feed them whole corn, because then they can't digest it, and then it comes out into their waste, and then the corn's growing here, and they're not getting the benefits. So you need to get at least crushed or cracked, and they each get about 6 pounds a day. You can get by with less than 6 pounds a day, but we're trying to fatten them up a little bit before butchering, so we feed them every day that. Now, those are the first ones that we bought. These, my wife just got today. So they're separated by themselves, and I'll get in there and I'll show you what these are. You can kind of see his tail. Maybe you can. Oh, he just walked in. So these are black Angus, purebred black Angus, which cost more than the other ones, and you can actually sell them for more than. I don't know how much these go for per pound. We'll figure that out as we go. But we wanted to make sure on the other ones that we could do the process. So now we've just got 2 more today, and I'll have to find out how old these are, and I'll put that in the description as well. So what you need is this calf hutch, which is plenty big for them, and you put straw inside of there so that they can bed down in there and be warm. As you can see, this is, some more field. If you get out, it's a little bit wetter as you go. We've had a lot of rain. It's actually raining now, and it's a little bit higher ground here. You want them to be up on higher ground that's well drained, so that they can stay dry and not get pneumonia. It's not cold enough like in the spring. We got the Holsteins in the spring, and it was cold and rainy and a little bit snowy, so we had to tarp this and worry about pneumonia and keep untarping it. This should be a lot better process. And we got those when they were a week old. These are way more than a week old. I'll have to find out how much. So we got the hutch from the guy who sold us the cows, and that keeps them dry and sheltered, and they can kind of, feel safe. And then you just get the T-bars, fence posts, and you drive it into the ground next to there, and then you can get this kind of gate at a Fleet Farm or Farm and Fleet, depending on which state you're in, and then you just put it in the horseshoe, and you strap it with zip ties. On that side, you strap it with zip ties, And then on this side, we just have a chain for it so that we can open it up and go in there and clean out the poop and manure, I guess you call it, and put new hay in. And then my wife cut a section of this out so that she could make this trough hanger, this watering hanger, and then they can, put their head through here safely and drink the water. And then if they're younger, you can actually put milk in there after they're off the bottle, and they'll drink the milk out of there. And then, we keep a couple of them around upside down, and that's what you put the grain in, and then you hang that in there. You put the grain in there, and then they can eat right out of there. So that is the difference in looking between a black Angus. Obviously these are younger, and then the other mix that we had gotten. These look a little bit more like milkers or whatever. They're still going to be great beefers, a little bit less expensive, something good to start on to see if you even want to do this. And we did a lot of fencing last year. We don't have to do that this year because it's all done. We did barbed wire fence, which is fine for cows. In between these two, we have 3 strands of barbed wire. We don't have an issue with it, but all the way around we have 4 strands, which we still don't have an issue, but we have plenty of gates. We have a gate there, we have a gate there, we have a gate between the two, we have a walk gate, we have another gate way down there, and then another walk gate up by the little structure that they have. So everything is going well, and it is doable. You can do 2 or 4. You have to know by state code, we can only have 1 cow per acre. So since we only have 4.89 acres, we only can have 4 cows. So if we could buy a little bit more land, we could get a few more cows, but we're not going to do that right now. So this is what you need. You need some field, you need some fencing, you need some structures. They stay in there in the winter. They even stay in there in the spring and fall and summer when it's too hot. There's electricity in there, and we can run a wire out there to heat the water, and we run the hose out there for the watering trough, and we're good to go. So, and then you also, it is good to have 2 separate fields. So they were in here, and you can kind of see most of it is eaten down low, and then once that's done, you want to put them in that field, and then they'll eat that down low. So then this gives this a chance to come up and be healthy again. And then we actually have a 3rd field that is not fenced in, and we will do 2, maybe 3 times. We'll bale that, and we'll get 100 to 150 straw or hay / grass bales off of that, and that'll feed them through the winter. So that's the most economical. So I hope you have enjoyed learning about raising beef. If you have any questions, please comment, and please subscribe. That would be amazing, and then I can keep putting things on here.